I fully regretted my decision to talk about this movie. Okay, first of all, I could not find where the Snakes on the Plains movie is at. I don't usually talk about terrible movies. I usually avoid talking about them. But a movie called Vipers. There's I kind of like to talk about reptile monstrous creatures. This is not the only time I would talk about snake movies. First, let me talk a little history. Snakes on a Plane is one of my favorite movies of Samuel L. Jackson, saying that famous line, I had with these mother bleeping snakes on this mother bleeping plane. And Rotten Tomatoes gives this one 69% because it's pretty good. I actually like the movie, and it is, wow, it actually came out on August 18th, 2006. During I was already 17 years old watching it. Look at these amazing cast members. This, however, I don't even know who these people are. Or it has Tara Red. I don't usually talk about snake movies, because I love reptiles, but this one I can regret it choosing this one. And yes, I know it's kind of the old classic horror films, but it's kind of like one of those other type of films that you regret watching when you were younger. And you're thinking, oh, this movie was so good. And then, and 10 more years later, you kind of realize it was, what's the word for it? Oh, yeah, total crap. Back at the cover says, in an island beautiful, rhythmic, and suddenly the most terrifying place on earth. The enchanted snakes, named for venom, has now broken free from a search fatality. They are out for more than a bite to eat. They won't stop until human has been devoured. With no time and to lose, the handful of survivors must call their own internally courage against the vipers. Since I haven't seen this movie in a long time, I'm just gonna cut the chase about this movie's plot convenience. It's just about them surviving, you know, the most deadly creatures of all time. And most of them are completely harmless, like what she's holding. She's kind of the main antagonist in this movie. She's smart, she's clever, she has friends that are trying to have a great time in their lives. It's like one of those classic horror movie cliches that you see many times that both male and female are gonna make out, and then not realize that there's danger nearby. Plus, as there's these. Yeah, yeah, don't remember the snakes looking horrible with their CGI effects. But then again, we had the Anaconda movies in trilogies that didn't have much great chemistry of good animation budget. This must have cost them like $1,000 just to make, or $1 million. Where's for those effects? I'll try not to show much of the movie that you have to see for yourself. They just had to stop like the invasion of vipers that broke out of the science lab, and some guys shoot at the cage, and they break out and kill innocent people by eating them. So it's up to the sheriff and everybody else in this film to make sure they make it out alive, or they are snake food. Food. I really don't got much else to say about the cast members, as they're just there to exist. This movie just R-rated, just for the sake of it. It's like this is a company called Maneater Series. Actually did most likely animals being the bad guys and all that stuff. It kind of reminds me of like those other classic movies I've seen countless times before. That people live their regular lives, and then in a couple minutes later, it shows them attacking some people, and they have like this love connection for each other. There's this guy. Looking in the back of the cover does not say what his name is. Yeah, Maggie. This is going to be a quick review because I will probably not spoil too much. It's a basic film and you'll probably just watch once. I have a little girl, teenage girl, doesn't like living there, all that stuff. You heard it all before. Oh yeah, and she's a thief. Oh yeah, and an even thing too. So yeah, there's really not much else for me to say about this movie. This is going to be a shortcut review of me talking about the film. So I'm trying to survive the venomous bites of vipers that she tries to find the anti-venom from horrible illness to remove the venom from poison in innocent human beings. Typical science work, looking at everything. I would say Snakes on a Plane is slightly better because at least in that movie it shows snakes attacking some people. And this movie has, work for it, sexual plurals in it, where a guy takes a shower and the lady, he just lies there and the snake is going off her, you know what, and really kills her. So these guys are like cops, policemen, taking care of crime all by themselves. Find criminal people. Mad scientist broke them loose. So it's kind of technically his fault. And there's like random chaos around town. Plus it doesn't show also the snakes for like a half hour into the video. It just shows people's lives are in trouble and her as a criminal. I'm doing things that she is to protect her family, being her little sister. She's in love with the sheriff's grandson, keeping the town safe from any harm. But they do find a way to stop the snakes from killing so many people. Plus, the film is only like an hour and 29 minutes. I would say Snakes on a Plane is slightly better, despite it's almost 2 hours long. Plus, it has Samuel L. Jackson being cool and all. And I don't even know who these people are. Once I see them, that's it. They're pretty downright forgettable. I don't even remember most of them. What I do remember about this movie is them taking on the snakes. That's pretty much it. You have to see the movie for yourself. It's not really that good at all, I guess. I mean, those of you who love snakes, I'm pretty sure you do, stick watching Snakes on a Plane. The film, you'll pretty much forget this existed in less than a day. You're showing people doing what other people do in this film with their actual lines and try to use like ultimate weapons to kill the vipers. Like bone them up and other things, or burn them alive. Sorry, this is not much of a review for me to talk about the whole film. Yeah, but just see it for yourself and you'll see what I mean about the film being downright forgettable. Sure, these people act all cool and awesome and try to find a way to kill the snakes. And foreshadowing that they had to live inside a greenhouse. Also, that's pretty much it. In other words, this film is less forgiving. I mean, I don't usually talk about animal movies. This one, you'll pretty much only watch more than once or twice, and that's it. All I can say is, stick watching Snakes on a Plane, the movie. It's worth your time than this one. So I give Viper the movie, less unforgiving film of all time, and being the stinker of all time, a 3 out of 2. It's not really a good film. It's just downright forgettable. You can see why people don't talk about it that much. Because they almost hardly do anything in this film whatsoever. See you all next time. And when I talk about another forgettable film of all time. Alright, goodbye.